I'm extremely happy to be here. I'm also very happy that I can entertain you, hopefully a little bit over lunch, talking about our business and how we think about childhood. The business idea of Lego is a very simple one. You are maybe familiar with the Lego brick. Our idea as a business is basically to produce a product that's able to be stick together and you can throw it around in the air, it doesn't fall apart, and yet you only have to be 2 years old to take it apart again. And with that you can create nearly anything you can possibly imagine. We've been around as a family-owned business for more than 80 years. We've grown throughout those 80 years. We're today a global business. We're the third largest globally. We've never bought or acquired or merged with a company. And the reason for that is quite simply that we want to stay true to what we're all about, our unique reason for being, why we exist. And that is the development of children through the Lego system of play. So we call it learning through play or learning through Lego, because we think that is maybe the most important way that children learn and develop is through play. And we have an opinion about what is good play and what is bad play. And we think one of the key elements of that is actually hands-on, minds-on, that children learn by using their body, by using their hands. They very rarely learn in a setting like the one you are in right now, where you're listening and you're listening and you're listening. And I bet when we all walk out this afternoon, you'll only remember very few things, because we don't learn by listening, we learn by doing and acting. And especially this is true for children. When they learn and touch with Lego, there's two important things going on when they build. They learn to think extremely systematically, like how science is constructed, how pieces fit together like plants and flowers that are organized in a hierarchical system of families. Because Lego is a systematic tool, or every piece fits together. There are 6,000-7,000 pieces that can all be built together, but they have to fit within a particular system. Some have even called it a digital system. The founder of Google, Larry Page, who invented PageRank, which is the algorithm that governs Google, said Lego is the most important technology I ever encountered in my life, because it taught me how to think algorithmically, how to program, how to think digitally. At the same time, of course, we hope that what children experience when they use Lego bricks is that their creativity is boundaryless, that they can build anything they can imagine. And so often when I went to school, it was either, are you creative, are you an artist, are you a designer, so the so-called soft skills, or are you a scientist, a mathematician, interested in the laws of physics. But I don't think that's what we really want children to learn. I think we want them to learn the soft skills and the hard skills, to be able to combine creativity and science to really be creative problem solvers. So that's what I'd like to just share a few examples of. And of course the background for this, I think everyone in here is available or aware of these trends, but I do think that the biggest trend facing the world is also one that I hear is facing Brazil, but I think is facing our entire world, is that over the next 40 years, the most important trend is the development in the demographics. It's, there are economists in the room. It's the most predictable science in the world is demographics. We're going to have 3 billion more people on the planet before all of us who are in this room are going to die. And how are we going to cope with a world that used 400,000 years to make 1 billion people, who spent 1,000 years to add the next billion people, and now within 40 years are going to add 3 billion people, who all need a very important early childhood. And we believe that the only way to deal with these challenges is actually to make children creative problem solvers who are able to deal with the unprecedented challenges that we face. And a little bit for your lunch entertainment here, but we wanted to make a little video that illustrated this, so I just want to show it to you. I hope there'll be some sound. So, I think it was said earlier that children are not mini grown-ups who are waiting to grow up. And I think what we'd like to propose is that children should be our role models. Children have natural curiosity, they're playful, they experiment, they learn by doing, they're problem solvers. And the only problem is that when we grow up, we feel awkward when we play. And we forget about these fundamental qualities, which is why children should really be our role models. This is why we talk about, as the reason for our company to exist, this is our why we are here. This is what we care about, is to inspire and develop those who build the tomorrow. We do that from our education perspective by working with a model that will be probably quite natural to the audience in here, dealing with both motor skills, development of me, understanding how we relate to others, but also developing creativity, understanding how to imagine possibilities, creating forms and expressions, and really learning that creative urge that is in every single human being can be managed and developed and driven into new expressions. And then, of course, making sense of the world around us and really understanding the world we're a part of. And so creativity and creative play and learning basically is driven by two fundamental concepts. One is the curiosity, the asking question, the exploration. And the other one is the playfulness, imagining stuff. One of the studies we're currently conducting with researchers is how important is so-called silent speech when children sit and talk to themselves. And it turns out it's a key element of the child development, this dialogue they have with themselves where they imagine things, because that's how they develop their understanding of the world, that's how they develop their brain. The other thing about play, I think that's very important, is that we're able to offer a kind of play that has a delicate balance between skills and challenge. That we don't offer play that's too easy because that's just too boring, or too challenging because that's just too hard, and then they give up. So I always think about when I learned to play the piano, that I think we've all been through that experience of learning that. And what we try to offer in the world of Lego is easy entry, but there's room for being a virtuoso or very high mastery where you can build nearly anything. I think also when you look at this and you see these two boys playing soccer, is that I think if you think about children playing soccer, I think there are at least three things going on at the same time, and this is very characteristic of play. One, they play to score the goal. So there's an objective, otherwise it's just not fun. It has to be an objective, something they're aiming for, targeting. The other one is there's actually learning going on, and if they have a great coach, it's even deliberate learning. And there's numerous studies that have shown that the people who become really great at soccer are not just born great soccer players. I know that probably if you're from Brazil, you have a higher chance. There's also a lot of people in Brazil, though. And a lot of studies have shown the only way you become really great at something is you spend at least 10,000 hours practicing. And you spend those hours with deliberate practice, so you're coached and you learn. But you cannot help yourself from at least learning something as you play. So that's the second thing. And the third thing is that distinguishes play from using a tool is that it's fun. A hammer becomes a tool to the child the moment it's fun hitting something. Then it's no longer a tool, it's a plaything, it's a toy. And these are the three elements of great play. It's the fun, it's the learning, it's the objective, and then staying in this what psychologists call flow.